Yo, what's going on, guys? And today I wanted to talk about who will the Memphis Grizzlies be drafting. And let's get into today's video and get right into it, guys. And yes, I think the Memphis Grizzlies are in a kind of an interesting position because they're very close to being a team that could go from being a young, almost playoff team to actually be kind of next year's. I think next year they could be the Hawks. Like, the Grizzlies have taken a lot of older prospects under this front office, which I do have one older prospect as their three guys. But look, they really need a true shot creator and shot maker with size. Just a guy who come off the bench or maybe even start. Jaren Jackson Jr. is better as a guy running off screens. Dillon Brooks is the tough, fearless 3-and-D guy who can create and make shots. And we all know what John Moran is. He's a beast. But Memphis is missing one guy to potentially slot him back into a role that makes a bit more sense than a primary wing shot maker. And that leads me to believe that they would benefit from, if they went older, they could either do Chris Duarte as the more finished product if they wanted to play now. And if they want to get someone similar to that, it's Jalen Johnson, who I believe will still be available there because he's sliding. Like, I don't even think they're going to take him. I think Umar Garuba would be the best. But let's just go talk about why I think Garuba is the guy. Garuba is the perfect replacement for Jonas Valanciunas. Yes, he's 6'8", but he is one of the best defenders in Europe as a teenager, and he already profiles as a potential all-defensive team guy by the time he's 25. And he can defend on the interior with terrific fundamentals for verticality and weak side shot blocking. His ability to slide his feet and drop his hips laterally is insane. His instincts as a pick and roll defender are terrific. Yes, the problems are on offense, as he's still not particularly an effective player on the offensive end, but there's signs of progress. He's been making more threes recently, and he's going to take some time. But he can pass the ball to short rolls and bits, and he's not afraid to put the ball on the deck. So I can imagine, like, Umar Garuba, if he's still there, they would snap him up because they have a replacement for Jonas Valanciunas. Now, Chris Duarte, if you guys do not know who he is, Duarte would go for how good he is. If he wasn't 23 years old, he'd probably be a lottery pick. But because he's 23, he's more of a guy who's going to go in the 20s in the late of the first round. But his game is tailor-made for the NBA. And he's not going to have a problem making an immediate impact. He's an all-defensive member in the Pac-12 and a really good playmaker with disruptive hands and the length of 6'6". In offense, he's a legit 40% three-point shooter who can handle the ball and make good decisions. High basketball IQ. He has high-level role player written all over him, and he chose to sit out the 2021 NBA Draft Combine. So that leads to teams that he's somebody promising. And I think what he'll be able to do is step in and be a valuable asset to the Grizzlies as, an older player. I think they would benefit tremendously from that. Now, Jalen Johnson. I'm not a fan, not wild. It's just we're in the part of the draft where there are some flawed but interesting prospects who have high upsides but low floors. And Johnson is a tremendous ball handler and a great transition player for his size at the four. He's that player if the Spurs traded back to get a second pick in the late first round, the Spurs would draft him. And that's why I think the Grizzlies could draft him here. Is his best skill though is his passing ability. He's very creative in how he sees over the defense, and he makes a lot of tough reads. The problem is that he's not particularly adept at half-court scoring. He's not a great scorer, and teams will just play the pass against him because he doesn't shoot it confidently, and he doesn't have an in-between floater game yet. So if he does shoot it, he has to become a really good shooter to become an actual starter. And he left Duke early this year, and teams are all over the board with him, so his draft range is pretty wide. So he could go in the lottery, or he could just slip into the late first round. I think it's either or. I think he'd be a great fit for the Grizzlies, but yeah, let me hear you guys' thoughts down below. That's basically it for me, guys. I'm gonna go hang out, smoke some herb. Not really. I gotta go study. I gotta go to the library. That one's gonna actually suck. The library sucks, guys. I'm just kidding. It doesn't suck, but nobody wants to Just go to the library and study all day. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.